Hi guys, my name is Rizal. Welcome to our history course of project.
My name is Lucas.
Hi, I'm Joshua. Hi, I'm Irfan.
I'm Elijah, and this video is about the Stop at 2 Children policy.
The Stop at 2 program started with the government-made family planning and national agenda. The National Family Planning Program was an important part of the government's ploy for social and economic development strategy following the independence in 1965, and it was a big part of the second 5-year national planning program. The government implemented the Stop at 2 policy because of the post-World War II baby boom, as there was a higher birth rate than death rate. The two-child policy was a way to help control the population of Singapore. With the goal of achieving public support and encouragement, the government brainstormed and decided to come up with slogans like small families, brighter future, 2 is enough, and the more you have, the less they get, 2 is enough. These slogans were made to reach out to more citizens of Singapore.
Due to the two-child policy, the government had added additional disincentives such as childbirth fees, income tax, maternity leave, and for couples with more than 2 children, a disadvantage for public housing allocation from August 1st, 1973. A reduction of income tax relief covered only the first 3 children, while an increase in accouchement charges applied in government hospitals. Mothers received a reduction of pay during maternity leave from 3 to 2 confinements, and the government lowered the priority of allocation of the Housing Development Board (HDB) flats for families with more than 2 children. In addition, an Abortion Act was implemented, ensuring easier access to abortion as the age of consent was removed. Sterilization incentives were also implemented, and parents who gave birth in Class B or C wards would have the charge waived if the mother or father underwent sterilization within 6 months of the childbirth.
These measures had an immediate effect. Birth rates dropped sharply in the first 4 years and continued to decline. The small family grew in appeal, and as more people were educated, women joined the workforce and incomes rose. Because the Stop at 2 program had worked too well in the 1970s, the government had decided to give financial incentives to encourage couples to have more children for a baby boom in the recent years. The call for more children was sparked by an alarm over an increase in the number of adults who did not marry and a rise in the number of married couples who changed their minds about having children. They also encouraged male Singaporeans to choose higher educated wives and gave out more incentives for higher educated mothers to have 3 or more children. Without a change in the birth rate, officials think that there will not be enough young people paying taxes by 2030 to provide services for the 800,000 residents 60 years old and above. However, couples did not want to have more children just because their country demanded so. Many couples thought that raising children would cost a lot of money and time. A baby must also be wanted mentally and spiritually, and not wanted just because the country hoped for couples to have more children. The people also felt that the government wanted them to do whatever they pleased.
Because the Stop at 2 Children program worked very well and birth rates were staying at a constant, the government started depositing $500 to the parents' CDA account every year with the birth of the second child, with up to an additional $1,000 yearly. With the third child, parents received $1,000 yearly and a matching annual contribution of $2,000. These monetary bonuses continued until the child turned 6 years old. Funds in the CDA were to help families defray child-rearing costs such as childcare or kindergarten fees. Aside from monetary incentives, expectant mothers were also entitled to 8 weeks of paid maternity leave. This was extended to their third child instead of just the first and the second. The government also paid up to $20,000 to their employers to lighten the burden. On the contrary, when implementing the two-child policy in 1972, the government discouraged couples from having more than 2 children. It came into effect on 1st August 1973, and some of the disincentives included were a reduction of income tax relief to cover only the first 3 children, the progressive increment of child birth fees charged in government hospitals based on birth order, and in addition, a reduction of paid maternity leave from 3 to 2 confinements, lowering the priority for allocation of housing development board flats for families with more than 2 children. This was implemented as the government wanted to promote families to have more children, to result in the growth of the Singapore population. Evidently, the government learned from the past experience of the Stop at 2 programs, and hence decided to give financial incentives to persuade parents to have bigger families. In addition, due to the population of Singapore being so low because of the two-child policy, Singapore is currently facing a labour shortage, and part of the reason for that is because of that policy back in the 1970s. Because of the policy, there is currently a shortage of people that can join the workforce. An example of this is that Singapore is currently lacking manpower in the medical side, like occupational therapy and more. Due to this, Singapore is in constant need of people for healthcare. And from this, the government is trying to persuade couples to have more children to increase the population and so that Singapore will have a better future in the medical sector. As such, Singapore is on path to have a better future in the medical sector, and the younger generation will not have to face this shortage.
All in all, the Stop at 2 program worked well to a certain extent. It worked well as the birth rates dropped quickly after the policy was implemented and they stayed constant. However, it also did not do so well as the birth rate is still staying constant currently, even though the policy had been dropped for more than 30 years now. The government is trying to bring the birth rates up by giving financial incentives and more to persuade families to have bigger families. Back to Noel. I think that the Stop at 2 policy worked well to a certain extent and didn't at another.
This is the end of our presentation on the two-child policy. We hope you learned something from it and enjoyed the video. Thank you.